What's good, family? Oh my goodness, you just tuned into Better Together, sharing our lupus stories. And I'm Chanel Gabriel, and we are all the way live and talking about lupus, empowering people with lupus to live their best lupus lives, right? So please put some hearts in the chat as we welcome to the virtual stage my co-host, Dr. Michaela Bayard.
Hey, Chanel. So great to be here. Last week, we had a great kickoff to season 5. We're learning about symptoms, way to detect kidney involvement with lupus, and we heard from an awesome guest, Bianca, and her path to remission with lupus nephritis. Nona was here sharing her journey about receiving a life-saving kidney donation. We had so many great guests.
I mean, it was great. And if any of you missed our season premiere last week or 2 weeks ago, feel free to check it out on youtube.com at Better Together Lupus Live. Okay. But yeah, it was a great show. This is a great show. Yep. So,
Chanel, when we first discussed this week's topic, I knew you had a big hand in it.
You know me too well.
So tonight we are talking about strength in motion, exercising with lupus. And so this is all you.
I mean, I try to be as active as possible, but don't let the gram fool you because things have definitely changed over the years. It's a lot.
So how would you say things have changed?
I mean, I used to work out like every day. And I was a personal trainer at one point in time. Most people don't know that. I ran multiple half marathons to raise money for lupus. I was just really, really active, but I had a few really bad flares last year, and that forced me to have to modify like what I get to do on a regular basis. And it's been hard because, you know, things ain't looking like they used to, you know, and it's challenging. So
I can hear that. I can imagine it's challenging. And I think it's just the fact that you're getting out there and still doing something, and, you know, every piece that you're contributing to working out and staying active can be really helpful.
I mean, I know you're right. I try to tell myself that as well, and also embrace that I'm getting older too and things change. But question, so when you see your patients, do you prescribe exercise to them?
It's a great question. There's no formal way outside of physical therapy to prescribe exercise, but I spend a lot of time showing patients exercises they should be doing every day that would be helpful with the different symptoms and pain that they're experiencing. So yes.
That's great. And I mean, let's not forget that you were an athlete in college. So what did you play?
So I played soccer, and I was a forward. So definitely had some exercise days in my past, which I try to keep up, but still not the same as before, like you.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I bet that's what you bring to your practice. And for those out there that's from the Caribbean, first of all, prayers to Jamaica. I know we call soccer football where I'm from. My family's from Trinidad. So,
exactly.
But I think it's great that you bring that to your practice. I don't think a lot of rheumatologists bring that and think about that with their patients.
You know, I think it's important that we start, and we've talked about this before on this show, how important holistic care plans are. So when we're thinking about that, movement and exercise is a huge piece of that, especially when you're thinking about cardio and cardiovascular health, strength training. These are all things that can really, really benefit people living with lupus. You know, and as any health changes, you know, it's important to let your doctor know what you're doing in terms of your fitness, because again, it's a part of your whole care plan. So we really try to make sure that your fitness plan is the best fit for you in terms of what's happening, in terms of your treatment and your care at that point in time.
No, definitely. You got to let the doctor know whatever you're doing outside of just this treatment, their treatment. So, but we're so excited to have our guests who they've found benefits in just movement, right? And getting their move on, as they say. So our first guest we're going to bring to the stage really quickly to say hello is Marsha Carless, who is Kingston, Jamaica born, New Jersey raised, a lupus advocate. Welcome to the virtual stage, Marsha.
Hi, warriors and supporters. Hi, community.
Hey, so Marsha is a Howard University alumna, A2, right? And a former veterinary assistant who has shared her lupus journey at walks, conferences, and webinars for over 15 years. And she's a lupus mental health and disability warrior and advocate. And a fun fact, she's an avid Sims 4 player, an animal lover. Oh my goodness. Is that your favorite animal? You like dolphins?
It is not. I actually don't have a favorite.
You don't? Okay.
Love them all.
I'm a lion. I'm a little around.
How are you?
But we are so glad to have you. Okay. Now, next thank you. And next we have speaker, author, health coach, and lupus advocate Terrell Sally Holliman. Welcome to the stage.
Hey girl, how y'all doing? Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Terrell is a dynamic speaker and the founder of Living Loving You Well LLC, which educates and equips women leaders to overcome inflammation, unhealthy eating habits, and fatigue so they can heal their bodies and lead with wholeness. I love that. Her goal is for this to have a ripple effect in the family, community, nation, and the world. Okay. And a fun fact about you, Terrell, you completed a triathlon. Ooh, that's biking, swimming, and running.
Yes. I did that on a special decade in my life. It took me 6 months to train.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Listen,
really
that's motivation for me. Okay. I props to you. Okay. Well, we're so excited to have you here. Okay. And our next guest is going to be joining us for both conversation as well as a special workout segment. So I hope you all have comfy clothes on. Welcome, Dr. Sean Thomas.
What's going on, folks? What's going on, lupus folks? Let's get this going.
Yes.
Dr. Sean is a licensed doctor of physical therapy and the CEO of Be More Today, a company that helps ordinary people do extraordinary things in the world of health and fitness. He received his doctoral degree in physical therapy from SUNY Downstate Medical Center, and he's an adjunct professor there. Okay, he is the author of 2 books, which we see right now. There you go. And he is also the host of the Be More Today show, which highlights pioneers in the world of wellness. And a fun fact about Sean is he's run 5 of the world major marathons and will be doing his 6th and final one in April 2026. Oh my goodness. Are you ready? What's your training? Listen, we're going to talk about it later, but I am impressed. Okay.
What's the one in April?
Boston. That's my last one.
Okay. That's a good one to end in.
Yes.
Yeah,
then retire. Pickleball. Looking forward to it.
You're gonna retire. Well, that's a great place to retire. We're so excited to have you joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, for our Spotlight on Research segment, we're excited to have Dr. Ashwin Boda back. He's returning to the Better Together virtual stage. So Dr. Boda.
Hey everybody, good to be here.
We love to have you here. Thank you for being here. So Dr. Boda is our research operations director, or is the research operations director with PCCR Solutions. He's been working in the rheumatology research field for the last 16 years. It's a long time. In various roles, training different research sites on best practices. So welcome back, Dr. Boda.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And these are going to be some great conversations. And while you're watching, you can join us, okay? Wherever you are, whenever you're watching, use the chat to let us know where you're tuning from. Anything that resonates with you, let us know you're in the house. And use the chat to also ask questions, chime in with your thoughts, and show us some love, okay? Well, now we're going to bring in the first guest. I'm so excited to have Marsha Carless. Put some purple hats in her chat as she comes here. Put some purple hearts in the chat.
Thank you.
Welcome, Marsha. Thank you for joining us. So, we have a way we start most sessions, which is having you share your lupus story. So we'd love for you to start there.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I was diagnosed when I was 12. This is 1993, so about 32 years ago. And I actually give credit to my mom. My mom, I like to say, diagnosed me. I was always a sickly child and they had no clue what was wrong. And at the time, lupus was actually defined as a skin disorder. I lost an aunt to lupus. She was 32 and my mom just happened to ask the doctor, could you please test Marsha for this? There it was. SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus.
Mm. And was there anything that, like, what were your symptoms that led to your mom saying this? And was it a simple diagnosis, or what did that feel like?
Well, I think the main symptom was that I was constantly catching viruses, germs. I was moved out of daycares, and they removed my tonsils thinking that maybe that would help me not be as susceptible. And they couldn't figure it out. They could not figure it out. So,
and you dealt with so many different symptoms, and then finally your mom was like, "No, we're gonna go figure this out."
Yes.
And do that.
Yes.
Shout out to mom.
Mom.
So, you're doing well now, and we know that working out has been a major part of your journey. So can you share with us a little bit more about how you got into it and when you got into it?
Well, I am a reformed tomboy, so I was always a bit active, had my hands in a little bit of everything. And as I got older, I don't know, I was a pretty active person, so I wasn't necessarily thinking about working out or anything of that nature. But then as you grow, your body changes. There are certain demands. There are things that are now present that weren't there before. And what actually prompted my exercise journey was 2021. I was actually going on vacation, and I wanted to look good in my clothing. And so I know that I can't do anything that's too strenuous. And so I said, let me look into some like low impact exercises. And I found a few 5 to 7 to 10 minute workouts on YouTube, as simple as that, a simple Google search. And I was able to find some things that were pretty beneficial. I could see the change in my physique. My appetite improved. I slept better. I was more energized. I was able to keep up with everyone. So I definitely saw the benefits quite early.
That's great. Now,
yes.
What about symptoms wise? There's some classic symptoms we talk about, people who are living with lupus. Did you notice an impact on your symptoms?
I also do want to mention that I have fibromyalgia. And so the exercising really more so benefited that, especially when it came to stretching. And
for people who don't know what fibromyalgia is, just, maybe you could explain some of your symptoms quickly.
Sure. So fibromyalgia is basically, I experience pain in my muscles. Any kind of tissue, any kind of muscle, I experience pain. So imagine a very rigorous workout without stretching beforehand. That soreness that you feel afterwards, that's pretty much what fibromyalgia feels like.
Yeah. It's a great explanation.
Yes.
No, thank you. And I mean, I guess, so you just Googled like workouts, fibromyalgia, and that was what came up?
A simple Google search.
Wow.
I was also curious about yoga, but that happened to pop up first, just low impact exercising, which involves a lot of stretching. Things that won't take too much of a toll on your body.
No, and I think even though as you're talking about it really helped your fibromyalgia, thinking about just joint pain and all those kind of pains that tend to happen with people just having lupus as well, right? Yes. Like it's so interesting how like those kind of low impact workouts would be good for us too. Things that are not making you jump all that high, things that are really allowing you to do a lot more movement than just that like pounding against the floor doing jumping jacks. That's modified versions is a thing. Exactly. So what does your fitness journey look like now? What are you doing now?
So Yes. So I suspended my brief workout journey in 2021, actually when the pandemic hit. Took a bit of a toll on myself, everyone around me. And as of this year, I looked into something called a pain management center, which I didn't even know those existed. And they house chiropractors, they house medical masseuses. And I just started physical therapy today. And so I'm able to kind of get all of those needs met where we're doing stretching, just again, low impact upper body stretching exercises, things like that. And I can already see the difference.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
And I think you're holding in on such an important point, because we talk a lot about like low impact and like what does that actually mean. So, for our viewers, and probably Dr. Sean can talk about this more, it's, a lot of movements that don't involve pounding or, the running, the high intensity exercises. So the movements you can do without all of that pounding and jumping. So it's important because it is really this whole area of exercise itself.
Yes. Very important.
Definitely.
So in the season where you were active, thinking of the days you might have wanted to skip a workout or quit, we all have those days. Was there a mantra or a song or something that like really pushed you to keep going?
Guys, my only motivation was the pain.
Mm-hmm.
I admit I've never been a disciplined person. And so I would love to tell you that, it's the start of a new day. I just have that natural rigor. Let me go out there and get it like I got it yesterday. That's not the case, because any given day you could feel differently than the day prior. And so this is something that I would like to really place emphasis on a bit later. But understanding your limits, you know what you can give that particular day. And so, admittedly, the pain is the motivation. I understand that if I stick to a routine, I'll see better results. So that would really be the motivation. Do I still want to feel like this? I don't. So let me go exercise.
Yeah, it's such an important point, that it changes day to day. You have to reassess and adjust. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Thank you for all of the sharing you've done, your journey, Marsha. I am so sure our viewers can really identify with your story. And we're going to have you rejoin the conversation in a few. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Oh, thank you. I definitely have had those moments where I'm struggling or I'm not feeling well. And the motivation is I know if I stop, it gets harder to jump back in. So I'm like, I definitely feel that last point that she made. But now we have another guest whose exercise journey led to a transformation of her mind, body, and even career. So please put some purple hearts in the chat as we welcome Terrell Sally Holliman.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining us, Terrell. And we are going to do the same and have you share your lupus story. So go ahead.
It's interesting that Marsha talked about 1993. That was a good year. I also got diagnosed that year. I was married for about a couple of years by that time, no children. And I remember just feeling really tired. I worked a high-powered job at the time. Did 70-hour work weeks, just thinking I'm just tired. But then I started getting these boils on my ankles. I started getting fever. And I just couldn't explain it. And my husband was like, we got to go check this out. We got to go check this out. So we go to all these different doctors and no one can give me an answer. They said I was crazy, didn't know what I was talking about. So a friend of ours said, why don't you go see a dermatologist? Because by that time, we're still figuring out. And I got this nice little red rash on my face. And I went to the dermatologist and he immediately knew exactly what was going on with me. And he said the word, you have lupus. And the first thing I said, am I going to die? And he's like, no, if you listen to me, you won't die. So that's how my journey started.
Wow. So, I mean, thank you for sharing that. I feel like we've had a couple guests come on here and say that their diagnosis came from a visit to the dermatologist. So that's really, really interesting. Well, take us back to the earlier days. Now, how did managing and having lupus impact your weight? That was something specific we talked about.
Yeah, with me, and I don't know if anyone else felt this when the diagnosis surfaced up, I felt very alone. I felt isolated and I didn't feel well supported. So my refuge was eating. I said, well, since I don't know how to handle this and I was in denial, my husband will tell you that through and through if you talk to him. I was totally in denial. I just like, I'm not dealing with this. I don't have this. They don't know what they're talking about. And then I just started eating. I just started eating to fill the void, to try to figure out what to do and what's my next steps, what kind of medicine to take. Is this going to change my life? Am I going to be able to have children? I mean, all the questions are running through my head. So I just started eating anything I can get my hands on, girl. Late nights, just eating, going to the store, buying stuff uncontrollably. The chips are down my throat, the ice cream, tub of ice cream. You see those movies and the girl is crying because the boyfriend met. I'm one of those. I'm just sitting there just eating. And that's what happened. I just gained and gained and gained over 100 pounds.
Wow, 100 pounds. And we have a photo that shows just kind of the season of your life, this season of your life, where you just, you told me that your face was just a little bit heavier. And I know that the steroids played a role in some of this too, for a lot of
Yes.
people. And I can imagine that being a lot of people. I know for me, when I was diagnosed, definitely that isolation that happens when you're trying to navigate all of this, and it's your body. So even if people try to support, I totally can understand the challenge of that.
Yeah, you also had shared with us that your rheumatologist had a hard talk with you around that time that really led to you making a change. So I'm going to take some notes on this.
Yeah, my rheumatologist, who's now retired, God blessed him. And we had a conversation one year. By this time, I'm over 100 pounds. By this time, I have two beautiful children. And he says to me, Terrell, we got to have a talk. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm going to tell you, you're dying if you don't change what you're doing. I said, what are you talking about? And then I started crying and the nose snot is coming out and everything like that. And he's going, listen, if you don't change today, then your husband's going to have a new wife and your kids are going to have a new mom. You got to do something right now. Otherwise, you are dead. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So as a result of that conversation, I went home, talked to my husband about it. And he's saying with clenched teeth, he's like, this is what you're going to do. Here's a credit card and you're going to the gym. Just go to the gym. Just start working out. And that's what I did. I found one of the parents in the school and I was like, I got to go to the gym. So can I go with you? And she's like, sure. And I started working out 3 times a week. With classes, with weights and, really good body exercise and stuff like that. And 18 months later, I got rid of 50 pounds.
Wow, 50
18
pounds.
months later. Yeah.
Wait, no, there was something else. You're leaving something else out of this story because we had a conversation about this. Something about swimming. Something about swimming. Because you made me want to go back and go get my swimming lessons. That's why. You got to bring that part
Something
in.
about what? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, maybe
So
it was
the same rheumatologist.
Mm-hmm.
No, same rheumatologist. I got rid of the 50 pounds. I came back all excited, like I did something. And he goes, you still need to lose more weight. And I said, really? What do I need to do now? He's like, you need to go swimming. I said, Black girls don't swim, so I'm not getting my hair wet. So that's not an option. He says, no, you're going to learn how to swim, and Black girls do swim. So I had to find a pool, and I went swimming, and I only lost 5 more pounds. So I was upset with him on that one. But it's become a lifelong part of my exercise now is swimming. So I have to tell him thank you for much for that.
No, I had to bring that in because I was definitely like, I know that there's a lot of people like, girl, my hair can't get wet. But I think that the fact that that's something else that can be added to your fitness and thinking about that. I think we think about that as like, I go on vacation and I stay by the pool. So couldn't let you leave without that. But you're also an author.
Yeah, I'll get in the pool and I'll swim.
See, there you go. Get in the pool and swim. So now I have to bring up your book. You're an author, and that is amazing. Please tell us what inspired you to write your book and what message did you hope to give readers with it?
What inspired me to write the book is my cousin. she said to me, knowing the journey that I had, and she bugged me for 15 years, okay? Because she saw the transformation. She saw everything. She knew everything. She's like, girl, you need to write a book about this. There are women out there that's probably suffering that have no idea that they can make a change like you did. And I was like, who's going to read my book? Are you crazy? There's no way I'm going to. She's like, girl, you need to write a book. So one of my friends that I met in Clubhouse had a friend that was an what do you call it, oh gosh, what am I thinking of? Well, he published my book. He's a publisher. And I told him I had this story. He's like, yeah, let's just do it. So I started writing it and I got it to him. And yeah, the book came out in 2020, late 2023. So I really launched it in 24. And I would say the message in this book is really sharing with anyone. It could be a woman, it could be a man, anyone dealing with any kind of health issues, that you can overcome it. There's resilience in that book. There's betrayal. There's denial. There's overcoming, and just knowing that this is not a label on your life. Someone telling you that you have this condition doesn't stop you from moving forward in your life. So that's really what this book is about. So it's very raw. So I tell anybody before they read it, because I really share a lot. So, but it's really a work of resilience, that you don't have to stop there.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, that's so great. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for
You're
all the work
welcome.
you were doing, supporting others and taking control of their health. And your book, we're going to have to start sharing that.
Definitely. Thank
Oh,
you.
thanks.
We'll bring you back in a few minutes to come and talk with us. But thank
Okay,
you.
thanks.
And we got the reminder that we need to sign up for swimming lessons. Like I said, I have to sign up for swimming lessons. It's gonna happen. But Dr. Michaela, it is that time. Are you ready for a quick workout? A little something?
Yes.
I see you got a sweater shirt on. I made sure I wore my workout gear. So we're gonna make it happen.
I'm all ready. And we are we going to be live from the JAG Physical Therapy Center on Ralph Avenue in Brooklyn with Dr. Sean Thomas.
What's going on, folks? What's going on? What's up?
Not much. I know that you're still at work, so thank you so much for making time for us to lead us through a quick set of exercises. And hopefully this is someone everyone can kind of add to their workout regimen.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I appreciate the invite, and I'm happy to be a part.
Awesome. So first things first, people with lupus, people living with lupus may complain about joint pain, fatigue. So exercise feels like the last thing someone might want to do. So how can exercise and fitness help with those symptoms? Or what do you tell clients that, share that?
Yeah, it's a common misconception and a hard sell sometimes, right? I'm already in pain, so why would I want to move at all? And we hear it all the time, people who have arthritis, lupus, and other things that are chronic in nature, but we know that movement helps the body feel better. Natural endorphins, working on joint movement, working on flexibility, mobility, all these things help us feel better. And increasing the blood flow in our bodies, although it might be painful at first, makes you feel better in the long run. So we always say, give it a shot. Let's try to find some low impact things for you to try, things that you can actually feel comfortable and confident doing. And once you do those certain things, we can add more to that template. But yes, movement is medicine, movement is power, and just encouraging people to move in general makes things a lot better for everyone, including those who have lupus.
Love it.
Perfect. Yes. And we're excited to have you demonstrate some of that movement. Okay. So I'm all warmed up. I'm going to get up from my little comfy chair and work out with you.
All right.
Hope everybody out there is ready. Are you ready, Dr. Sean?
I'm ready. I was born ready, Chanel. You already know this. Listen. All right, folks, if you're at home watching wherever you are, if you have any kind of space anywhere, I need you to stand up, or you can sit down, but just be comfortable. I'm going to stand up. All right. I'm going to stand up right now. You guys can see me. I'm in my office, but I'm ready to rock with each and every last one of you. So I just need 5 minutes. Let's just go from head to toe. And all we're going to do is work on getting our bodies to move a little more and be a little more flexible and mobile today. So let's start from the top with our heads, just going in circles. Nice, easy neck circles. Anywhere you want to go, left or right, doesn't matter. We're going in circles right now. We're going to change directions in 3, 2, 1. Now go the other way. If you're sitting or standing, you can do the same thing. No problem, no issues. Moving the neck around. You got 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go shoulders back, nice and easy. Just trying to get our shoulders to move a little bit, decreasing the tightness that we have been collecting all day at work, or maybe at school, wherever you've been, just in life, whatever it's going to be, right? Let's go forward now, same thing, just moving our shoulders forward. Nice and relaxed, nice and easy. Again, these are all pain-free movements you can do. If they do hurt, just do smaller movements. But again, movement is medicine. Hands, tabletop position, just going side to side. Just trying to rotate that trunk, that thoracic area. That gets very, very tight with all the things happening in life as well. Get that body moving left to right. Keep those feet planted in the chair, standing up. We got 3, 2, 1, and relax. Keep those hands in front of you still. And if you can, try to get those knees up to those hands. If you're in a chair, the same thing can happen. Bring those knees up to the hands, not the hands to the knees. I see some of y'all out there virtually. I see you. Bring those hands down. Get those knees up to the hands, not the other way. We got 3 more seconds, 2 more seconds, 1 more second, and relax. Hands on those hips. If you're standing up, just give me some circles and roll those circles around. If you're in the chair, do me a favor and just try to move your body around instead. So if you're in the chair, you're doing one of these. Upper torso, if you're standing up, you're doing lower body. You're just going in circles. We're going to go 3, 2, let's go the other way. Other way, same thing. Rotate that trunk, that body. Move that tight back, those tight hip flexors. Move that body around. We got another 3, 2, 1, and rest. If you're standing up, what I wanted to see you do now, can you try to touch your heels with your fingertips? If you're in the chair, what I want you to do is do the same thing, but try to touch your heels with your fingertips side to side. So if you're in a chair, you're going side to side. If you're standing up, you're doing the same thing, just trying to get those heels up to those hands. Working on decreasing the tightness that's in those hip flexors, tightness in those hamstrings, tightness in those quads. We got another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 2 more things. If you can go on those toes, let me see you go on those toes. If you're standing up, not a big deal at all. You're doing that. If you're in a chair, same thing. Just bring those feet up and down. Good for blood flow. Those you've been sitting all day, increasing that blood flow in those areas, great. Those you've been standing all day, make sure those calf muscles are still working, still doing what they have to do. Fantastic. We got 3, 2, 1. Now that we're all warmed up, let's do a couple different stretches. Hands on one side of your head, pull that head down to one side. We're going to hold that upper trap stretch for about 15 seconds, 14, 13. I got to speed this up. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Other side, same thing. A lot of the tension that we carry out through our day is in our upper traps, right? You're on the computer all day. You're typing all day. A lot of tension in those necks. And even with issues like lupus and arthritis, we keep a lot of tension in our bodies. So releasing that is ideal. Hands behind the back for a pectoral stretch or a chest stretch. Hands behind, just big, big chest out. Big, big chest out. In the chair, standing up, same thing. Just stretching out those tight chest muscles, those tight pectoral muscles. They get tight, again, with a lot of things we do in terms of static movements. But a great way to release that. Now let's go the other way. Hands in front. Cross those hands and roll the shoulders forward. Roll the shoulders forward to get the muscles in the back of your body to also stretch out. We call this a modified rhomboid stretch, but the muscles that are between your shoulder blades, they get really tight in general. Open up those shoulder blades. Open up those blades together to get a little more release and tension in those muscles. In 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Now, if you can, if you're standing up, just slide that hand down one side of your body. If you're in a chair, you can do the same thing, just trying to reach over and slide to one side of your body. You're gonna hold that for 3, 2, 1, and the other side, same thing. Slide to one side of your body. Working on opening up those lower abdominal spots that get kind of tight as well. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Last 2 things. If you can, standing up, try to bring your knee up to your chest. You can do this standing. You can do this in the chair, right? Just trying to get that knee up to that chest and holding that for about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's switch sides. Great way to open up those glutes that get very, very tight again with sedentary movements in terms of sitting, but also just tight in terms of chronic conditions. Our muscles get tight. Stretching those things out makes everything feel a little better. 3, 2, 1. And lastly, our calf muscles. If you can, you're going to basically open up your legs a little bit. You're going to turn a little bit to your left or right side and think about trying to touch your toe. If you can touch your toe seated or standing, you're going to feel a little stretch in that hamstring, a little stretch in that calf muscle. You're going to hold that for about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Bend that other knee. Leg is nice and straight on the side you're trying to stretch. And you're feeling that right through that hamstring, right through that calf muscle, even to that Achilles and that plantar fascia on the bottom of your feet. That whole side can be stretched out with some of these easy things. 3, 2, 1. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to rock. I feel great. How about you guys? Yeah, good job. Good job.
That was great. Oh,
This is awesome. I need to bring this through for my own workout and for the patients I work with.
I'm definitely gonna do this when this show is over. These are some stretches I need to continue doing. I know this was a really good workout. So I'm gonna let me see. I have one question. So some of these things in the chair, are they less effective being in the chair itself?
Not at all. You know what's funny? I think a lot of people think, well, I can't do it. So if I do it in a chair, what's the point if I can't stand up? All the movement in general is great, right? Anything that you do in terms of movement is fantastic, whether it's walking, jogging, yoga, Pilates, whatever. When it comes to stretches and what we just did just now, that can be done in a chair, that can be done standing up, that can be done laying down. All these things are based on what you can do. And like I always say, you get in where you fit in. You start slow, whatever works for you, it works for you. The fact that you're moving in general is fantastic. And as that gets easier, now you can progress from doing it seated to doing it standing, or maybe in a higher chair. Or if you're doing it standing, trying it with weights or with resistance bands, or progressing those things as you see so fit. As long as you're moving for these movements in general for the body, they will be productive and successful for you.
Dr. Thomas, these are great points, and I love that you're emphasizing the adjustments that can be made. And there's different levels to each exercise and movement, because I think that's really important when we're talking about populations that have more mobility issues or stiffness.
Yeah, exactly. And the low intensity aspect of it is, I think, the buy-in, right? It doesn't have to be jumping jacks and it doesn't have to be like burpees, right? Those are all great. You see that on Instagram. People love doing that kind of stuff, or they hate doing those kind of things. But just focusing on small movements, I see you, Chanel, focusing on small movements, right? Just to get the body to move. Reminding your neck that there's tension here. Let's stretch that thing out. Whatever we build up throughout our days in terms of tension, and again, with these chronic issues, how our body responds to those things over time. When's the last time somebody really stretched their entire body from head to toe? It doesn't really happen often if you go into a class. So finding time to take intentional time throughout the day and just to do a warm-up like we just did and to stretch. That took us maybe 5 minutes. Finding time to do those things, again, either standing or seated, is beneficial to make sure that you can feel better in the long run. And then doing that consistently is the key. And I think that's always going to be the challenge, whether we're talking about lupus or anything else. Will I be able to find time consistently in my day to do this every single day to feel better? And if you do, you will definitely feel better. There's no question about it.
Well, I know some doctors recommend it, but sometimes patients have to take things into their own hands and ask, okay, when would someone ask, hey, can I see a physical therapist, as an option?
Sure. Yeah, we see it all the time. It usually comes down to them not knowing what to do. And, we can say, yeah, just do this stuff and you're fine. But some people do need someone to literally say, look, I need you, Chanel, Dr. Michaela, to sit here and do this 5 days a week, do these certain things in this order for this duration, this period of time, for a half an hour every single day. You sometimes need someone to do that for you. And, as physical therapists, we see a number of patients that, yes, are post-ops and some who are dealing with balance issues or whatever else. But most of our clients do fall into this category of just dealing with things that they're going to have to deal with for the rest of their lives, and needing someone to kind of just be there to help them, to guide them, to inspire them encourage them to keep going every single time. It is not easy to do these things at home. It is much different to come to a space with other people who are also doing some kind of movement, and just being in the vibe of that space. You're encouraged to move. If it's a good spot, you're encouraged to move. And I think that's what people sometimes just need. Someone to say, you know what, I'm going to do this because Dr. Whoever said me, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it with people around me who are also trying to move as well. It just gives a vibe and the encouragement to keep going.
So say we're all encouraged and ready to go, and sharing this exercise routine with a patient I'm working with. How do I help guide them between the difference between regular muscle soreness and pain? Because that's always the question, especially when you're getting into exercising.
Absolutely. And I think it's one of the interesting questions that I get, because the fear is always, oh, I did too much. I'm in pain. I did too much. Or I'm in pain. What did you do to me? Right? And I'm like, okay, no, I know it's going to happen. And we talk about delayed onset muscle soreness. We talk about that all the time, right? DOMS are a certain thing, whether you're working out, doing burpees and sit-ups and crunches and jumping jacks, or just doing simple movements like we did today. That is going to happen. It's a natural phenomenon for the body. Explain to the person that this is going to happen. It's not a bad thing. It's a natural thing. But the more you do it, the more you do the movement, the less that onset will happen. Versus, is there ouch? Is there ouch pain? Is there pain that you cannot tolerate? If it's tolerable discomfort, that's totally different than, I can't move because I'm in so much pain. I need to take medication, or I need to do whatever else. That's a totally separate conversation. So educating people to know the difference is something that I enjoy doing, because there's a fear that comes with, well, what's too much? What's not enough? I don't know. And just showing them, look, let's start small. Let's start slow. That way you can really see, look, this is how your body's going to feel in terms of what you can tolerate. And once you get used to knowing the difference between muscle soreness and pain, then we can continue to add to that. But I think sometimes people rush, they get really excited, and then they do too much. And then they do have pain because they did too much. And then there's, well, how do I know what I'm doing is not going to be too much or whatever else? And we have to level out that playing field. So I would always say start small. Let's go into it nice and easy and do what you can do, feel comfortable doing, building that confidence, and differentiating again between what is painful and what's just a typical response to general working out.
Well, thank you so much for clarifying that. And thank you for taking time out of seeing patients, because I know you're still at work, just to help us get moving. So now we're going to send you back to work. Go ahead. But no, thank you so much for being here. And once again, we'll make sure we put a link down there so they can check out your book, which I know is really important. Your two books, Be More Today, and your whole brand, because you're doing some great work in the community to get people excited and open to working out and moving and being a part of communities that do that. So
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Definitely. Thank you. All right. Now it is time for our segment here on Better Together called Spotlight on Research. After that workout, we're going to go to the research. Yes.
So Spotlight on Research is basically where we learn about the path to developing new treatments. And today we'll be talking about the first steps to a clinical trial, going from that first interest to signing up. And so we are today going to be joined by our guest for this segment, who was here before. He was here last season, and we had so much fun with him. We're bringing him back again. So welcome back, Dr. Boda.
Hi, it's great to be back.
Thank you so much for joining us again. You've been supporting research for so many years in so many different ways. What is it about the work that you love?
Well, the part about research is developing new drugs. I have seen so many patients who have basically no other avenues. There are drugs that can treat conditions, but there are patients who either cannot afford those medications, or they just those medications are not working for them. So it's almost like we get patients who are at the end of the road when it comes to their disease, when it comes to feeling better. So seeing those patients and seeing them get better while they are on trials, that is an extremely rewarding experience. knowing that we are able to make a difference in their lives. Yes, that keeps me going in research.
That's awesome. I love to see people that are passionate about the work that they do and that they are dedicated in this way, especially when it helps others like myself, right? So we talked about on our last episode, we actually talked about how important research is. Now, let's say I heard that conversation that our last guest had, and I said, I want to join a trial. I actually want to learn more. I want to sign up. How do I even find one?
Well, there are different places, different avenues. There are some trials that actually advertise. There are certain websites that advertise their trials. There's information on Facebook and Instagram. There is a website called clinicaltrials.gov. That is a huge repository of every single clinical trial that is being conducted. That is one of the areas where patients can go and find out, or just even a Google search can lead you to a trial.
So this is a question I get all the time. Am I required, if I'm a patient, to go through my doctor to participate in a trial?
The short answer to that is no, it is not needed. A lot of patients definitely want to check with their doctor. The part about research is there is a lot of unknown. When we talk about research, a lot of it is unknown. Like, we don't know if the drug is going to work. We don't know what kind of side effects. So even new, or rather the patients who want to research into research, by the way, have a lot of questions. They are not sure of who to ask. And I think those are the patients who would benefit from talking to their doctor. There are also some reservations that even doctors might have. The views that I have heard from doctors is, but I don't know what the patient is going to get, so how can I entrust my patient to a research study and see if they are doing well or not? So that is definitely a conversation that the patient needs to have with their doctor. The other part of knowing about research is these are trials that are conducted by qualified physicians. So if there are any questions, those physicians will be on hand to answer them. In fact, before signing up for a trial, there is something called an informed consent form, which is a pretty long document. We are talking about, on an average, about 20 pages of interest. Yes, it is a very, very extensive document which lists every single thing that we know about the drug being researched. So there is all that information, and we have patients who actually read all of it, make a note of questions, and when they come over to the clinic, or even when they have some calls that we arrange where they ask those questions. Now, the doctors who are conducting the research can answer those questions. And especially if we are talking about lupus, the rheumatologist who is conducting the research is available to answer whatever questions the patients might have.
And so, what also might they ask? That's really helpful to know that your doctor, you can talk to your doctor about it, because there are a lot of unknowns in research, but there are also pluses that you do get access to other care that's going to have, other physicians that are going to be working with you throughout the trial. But what are they asking for to determine if a patient's a good fit? And if they meet all the criteria, what happens next?
So the main questions that are asked are, number one, how long have you had the disease for? What medications have you tried? And of course, what symptoms do you currently have? These are the first three questions. And oftentimes what we see is there is a conversation that starts to build when we ask these questions, because every patient is different. It's not a one size fits all questionnaire. So every patient has their own story to tell. and how they view research. What I have understood since I have been doing research is the patients who have these autoimmune conditions, chronic conditions, are so resilient. It is crazy how resilient they are, and that is very inspiring. In fact, they take things in their stride. So it takes a lot of conversation to let them understand that, okay, this is what we are going to do as far as research is concerned. And once those conversations happen, we give them the consent. We say, okay, I know this is a long one, go ahead, read through it, discuss it with family or anybody you want to, even your primary physician or your primary rheumatologist, if they are the ones who are referring you over. Once all those discussions are done, we ask the patients to come into the clinic and get us every single question that they have so that we can answer them. Then they go into once the consent form is signed, then we go through the procedures that are needed. The first visit is always called a screening visit, which is where we perform the tests to see if the patients qualify to be in the study.
Got it. Got it. Oh, that's so great. That's so helpful, Dr. Boda. And thank you so much because people want to know what to expect. They're like, I want to learn more. I want to be a part of this. But a lot of times that first step is really hard. So you've done a great job in really helping us know what to expect and let them know that they have support by both their doctors and other doctors as well. So thank you so much for this.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Boda. We look forward to having you back again very soon. And now it's time for all of our guests to join for some closing thoughts.
Let's bring everybody back. Oh, Dr. Sean didn't go back to work. He's still here. Yay! And you can bring Dr. Boda in too. We have Dr. Boda.
Full house.
Perfect. There we go. We got a full house. All right. So to close us out, we're going to ask one final thing. What tips or advice do you have for those who are trying to work on their fitness and wellness goals, but maybe have the challenge of lupus or just like past inactivity that makes this a little bit more difficult? I guess we'll start with you, Marsha.
Yes. The only advice I have is understanding lupus manifests itself differently to each individual. You have to learn your limits. You have to learn your triggers. This is your own race. You're racing against no one else. So you're pacing, understanding, like I like to say, not only am I a loopy, but I'm a spoonie, right? Spoon as a way of measuring the energy that I will have that day. And so I'm very careful to what I give my energy to. And I'm very honest with myself. Have you reached a limit? Or can you go a bit more? So it's so important for you to understand your lupus journey.
I love that. Understanding your body first and where you can make it. So next, Terrell, what would you like to add? What is your advice for somebody looking to get in, to be where you've been moving forward? Terrell? I don't know if she can hear us. All right, we'll go to Sean.
happened?
Sean. I was asking you if you could contribute your advice. I think she might be having some technical difficulties.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. What's going on over here? Anyway, forgive me. Forgive me. I would say don't beat yourself up. Give yourself grace. And freedom requires discipline. And peace. Those two things I keep with myself to pace myself in terms of working out because I'm a walker, I'm a swimmer, and I used to bike. I don't bike anymore. But those things I just kind of think about and moving forward some time and have some gratitude and whatever you can do. So don't beat yourself up about it. So, and Dr. Sean, thank you so much for that workout because I did it too.
Yay. All right, we'll pass it over to Dr. Sean. What's your
Yeah.
advice?
Listen, I appreciate all you being on. I've learned so much from listening to each of you, especially those of you who are going through the lupus journey. And I would just say, start slow. For those who are out there trying to get into it, start slow. Slow, easy wins is always the key. You're never comparing yourself to anybody else but you. It's always you versus you in this journey. And listen to your body. I mean, the best person to know about how you're feeling is you. So take the small wins. I know my shirt says be more today, but sometimes being less is actually more, right? Listen to your body on those certain days, being able to pull back a little bit and say, you know what? I did this today. It's a small victory. There's always tomorrow, God willing. And we'll do more things tomorrow to get to where we want to be in the long run. So listen to your body, being less today to some extent, and just staying consistent.
Oh, awesome. Love that. Love that. And to close us out, Dr. Boda, what's your advice? What would you say to somebody there?
I would say don't lose hope. I know it is a very debilitating disease, and there are a lot of bleak days where people just don't feel like it's going to get any better. When I talk to patients, I just say, number one, don't lose hope. Number two, let's sit together and make a plan. What do you want to do going forward? What do you want to do 3 months later? What do you want to do 6 months later? So kind of, as Dr. Shan said, the baby steps. It does, what I have found out is it helps a lot when you have a doctor walking you through or walking with you through the journey. And I have seen some patients truly do better with that kind of approach. So yeah, don't lose hope, and let's make those small plans and move with it.
Beautiful. That was so great. So many great pieces of advice. So thank you so much to all of our amazing guests, Marsha, Terrell, Dr. Sean, Dr. Boda, shared your journeys, your stories, your advice. So thank you.
Thank you. This was great. And thank you. This is a special thank you to all of you watching, whether it's live or on replay. We appreciate you for watching and supporting this show for 5 seasons. This is great.
We also have to thank Biogen for championing this show, helping make this possible. If you'd like to know more about lupus and information on participating in clinical trials, please scan this QR code on the screen. You can use your camera on your phone, or you can go to Biogen, BIOGEN, triallink.com. This direct link is also in the chat, so you can get to it in lots of ways.
Awesome. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at For Better Together Lupus and on Facebook at Better Together Lupus. So make sure you join us November 11th for our next episode, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be talking about, our topic will be cutaneous lupus, from skin irritation to restoration. And we're going to learn how to navigate the skin challenges that come along with lupus.
Great, Chanel. Thank you. And now we're going to put some hearts in the chat as we close the show with some spoken word by Chanel.
Every blink, every knee click, every creak, every stiff back and wrist, every movement, I am aware, is a privilege. I know that movement may not be intuitive. I know that aches don't make exercise feel possible, but I know that mobility can set them joints free. That dance can make the heart happy. The weight of lupus lifted with overhead presses. I work out to manage stressors. I work out because sometimes I want to cuss folk out, but yoga might be better. I might not always feel my best, but if all I can do is a stretch, then that's enough. If tomorrow I need to rest, then what my body tells me, I'm going to trust. But I know that my body is beautiful, no matter what it does. But movement itself is a blessing. Thank you so much. See you all in the next episode. Bye.